Hey guys, welcome back to the studio. Today we're going to turn this hunk of copper into an awesome tree. Over the past year or so, I've been collecting copper wire and salvaging it from different projects. And now I think I have enough to finally start this tree. So we've got about 100 feet of this. This looks like 7-stranded 12 gauge, which would make it 10 or 8, I think. I don't remember. But I got a bunch of this. So that's going to be the core of our tree. That's going to start that. Then we're going to take this and wrap it around that core. This is just a whole bunch of random thin gauge junk. A lot of it I stripped by putting it in the fire at like a really low temperature so it didn't just cook right through the copper, and it just melted off the plastics. But it also, in doing that, it annealed it. So it's super, super soft. And it doesn't really hold its own weight very well. So we're gonna have to see how that goes. I've got a whole bundle of this, so we're gonna wrap that around the core. And then we're gonna wrap that with this mismatch of 12, 14, and 16 gauge wire that I salvaged from, Romex that I had left over and stripped out of walls and stuff like that as I was working. So that's our core. We're gonna put the whole thing together and make our roots. Okay. Fully clothed, not holding anything. I weigh $170. No change, just holding the copper now. I weigh exactly 200 pounds. So this looks kind of like a mess right now, but I don't really care because it's getting buried. So I'm following nature's example. This is my taproot coming down. It's almost completely made of that super thick 7-strand 12 gauge stuff, really thick monster wire. And then I've got 2 monster roots like this. I've got this one and I've got this one that are going to be kind of the main support laterally, and then I've got a few smaller ones, and I've got some really little ones for kind of balance and decoration. So we're going to take this big monster and stick it in a pot, and then once it's mounted and solid, then we can go up the trunk and build the rest of the tree. This is where I grow my grass. Kick that over, little pot. And this is some kind of hyper dense styrofoam something. I don't know what it's made of, but it's super lightweight, so that's good for us. So I rigged up this stand just out of some scraps in my garage. We're gonna set that in there so it stays up straight while the concrete dries, and then we're gonna stick this straight through the middle of it to give it some rigidity. I'm worried that the copper won't be enough to hold up all 30 pounds of the tree and hold it up straight. So we're gonna put this steel rod right through the core of it. It's this is 1/2-inch black pipe it's for gas, but it was the cheapest thing I could find. So we're gonna throw that in there so it won't be 100% copper. Okay, I can't really get a good shot of this right now. Maybe I'll get a better shot of it tomorrow morning because it's 11:15 p.m. right now. I've been sitting on this bucket for the last 2 hours, threading hundreds of wires through this little jig. But let's leave that for another day because I'm tired, it's late, and I have to wake up for work tomorrow. I gotta go paint a ceiling because I still have a 9-to-5, because I'm not a full-time YouTuber, because you are not subscribed to my channel. You see that little button right there? It's still red. It's not gray. You need to click it so it's gray, so that I can be a full-time YouTuber like I want to be. Can you do it for me, please? Please. All right. Next morning, and a little bit better lighting, so I can finally show you this monster. We're starting to get a sense of the scale of how big this thing's gonna freaking be. So now my tree's a mess. I broke my little jiggy thing, and now I'm just sad. So, new plan. I made a new jiggy thing. Instead of doing every wire at once, we're gonna do 12 wires at a time and just do it in layers. So we'll start with these big guys and do a layer of that and wrap up to, I made a line somewhere. We're gonna wrap it up to there, and then from there up is gonna be the canopy. You can't even see that on camera. Hold on! Right there, that's the spot. From there up, that's the trunk down, and then from there up is the canopy. So. I'm frustrated, disappointed, sweaty and tired. So I'm gonna take it apart. Nothing's working, right? It's like it's just not. It's like, ugh. So I'm gonna try and salvage the copper that's there so I don't have to like buy more or recollect it. And we're gonna take it apart, start over and try it a different way. I've been working on this for 2 hours, and this is the progress I've made. We got that much copper out of the tree. I'm gonna take it all apart, straighten it. Oh my gosh. A couple more hours to go. All right, we've got a bucket of stranded wire. We got rid of it. I'm gonna take this to the scrapyard because it's just not working. I was really hoping. The reason I added this in the tree in the first place is because I wanted a thinner gauge wire on the ends of the branches so I could do more detailed kind of foliage of a look, but it's just not going to work out for this one, I don't think. Anyway, so we got the tree all apart and re-straightened out, so here's all the copper, but I need to replace this copper that we took out, so I got a roll of, I think this is number 6 ground wire, stranded ground wire, not number 4. So there are 7 strands of 14 gauge in here. And the reason I bought this one is because it's cheaper, right? So you get 7 strands for $1.50 a foot. And just buying 14 gauge bare wire is like 50 cents a foot. Anyway, it's way cheaper to buy it this way when you just want bare copper for my purposes. So we are gonna unstrand this, chop it up into 6.5 foot lengths, add it to that pile, and we'll be back to our 30-pound weight. We'll reweigh it once everything's cut up and done, but I think it'll be pretty close to 30 pounds. Okay, so I didn't realize that the time stop setting was on when we filmed that, so you're gonna get like 5 seconds of us twisting up the tree. But the next step, I made this little jiggy guy to twist up the rest of the trunk, and then we've got this smaller one to do the little branches. So we're gonna use these two to just keep on twisting, and then this one I drilled holes in the side for this piece of rebar to go in and give me some extra twisting leverage. So we're gonna do that now. Here we go. So I'm using a combination of channel locks, needle nose pliers, and good old-fashioned man strength to twist all these branches together. Now the spacing and kind of like how many wires are in each branch is very arbitrary. Get it? It's arbitrary. So you just keep twisting and keep going and keep separating until you get down to 2 wires, and then that's the last branch. And I'm gonna go through and twist all the branches together on the whole tree, not worrying about their position just yet. And once they're all twisted up, we'll go back through and start sculpting and shaping the tree the same way that you would a bonsai. So we're coming along nicely with the branches. I just wanted to mention that this was a horrible idea and it didn't work. It kind of worked for like the biggest branches, like this monster guy up here with like 40 some odd strands. That worked nice for that, but anything smaller than that, I wanted to get a really nice even twist like this, and I thought that it'd be really difficult to do with just pliers, but actually it turned out to be pretty easy. You just grab it with some pliers and crank on it, and it comes out really nice. I'm not loving this section of the trunk, so as I work these branches, I'm going to see what I can do to fix that. But also at the same time, it's basically going to get completely covered up later. But that's for another day. So we're gonna add some leaves to this sucker, and we're using tissue paper for that kind of translucent kind of feel. You'll see in a second. I've got plans. So we've got some spray adhesive. We're just gonna spray the branches and then dump it with leaves. Here we go.
Should have done this for our family. It looks like a tree.
Does it look like a tree now?
Not really. Not really.
Well, that didn't really stick at all, did it? So I just shook it a little bit and they all came off. I was hoping that the glue would dry and they'd stick a little better, so we gotta come up with another plan. Plan B. Okay, new plan. Got a whole new set, whole new box of tissue paper, like 300 sheets more. And we're gonna do it a little bit differently, I think. Or maybe. What? I look like Boss Baby. Oh crap. Okay, how's that? I don't look like Boss Baby anymore. I don't think that I'm gonna like the finish of this, but I don't have an alternative. We're just gonna push through. Okay, so as expected, I absolutely hate the way this looks. So if you remember back when I made that string art, I kind of tried to burn that one a little bit, but I didn't actually do it. This time, we're actually gonna burn it because I hate the way this thing looks. So let's light it on fire. Oh my gosh. I was out there for like 7 minutes and I got 43 mosquito bites just on my arms and face. Can you even see that? Bad lighting in here. My muscles look really good in this lighting, but you can't see the mosquito bites. Yeah, 43. That's the most I've ever had in my entire life. That's crazy. Look at that.